Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind Hey HR, and what we're going to talk about is something that can be a little bit confusing: onboarding versus hiring. So many people may think that onboarding and hiring is all the same thing. It's not. It's totally not. I'm going to give you guys the official definition, and then y'all know me, we're going to break this down just a little bit. Now, hiring and onboarding can be totally confusing if you work in HR, because sometimes we're a little bit a part of that process, or we're working super close with our team. Sometimes they kind of include a lot more than they would for a traditional employee. So if you want clarity on what an onboarding process should be like for you as an HR professional, then you definitely want to check out the Level Up Your Career ebook. I will leave the link for that below as well. But onboarding, the definition of onboarding is the process of familiarizing a new employee with the organization's policies, the employee's role in the organization, and the organization's culture. Hiring, on the other hand, is soliciting and reviewing applicants or applications for an open role and the process that's used to find new talent for your business. That's two different things, y'all. So your onboarding is after you already hired them. Hiring starts first. So hiring is going to be everything with recruiting, attracting talent, posting jobs, doing interviews, making sure that you have the right fit, looking through all of these applications, updating that job description, getting things solidified to attract talent. In some cases, if you really are aggressive about finding talent, then you just may decide, okay, I'm going to revamp our website a bit. I'm going to change the structure of our job descriptions. I'm going to create a few events. I'm going to attend a few events. I'm going to post on job boards I never posted on before, but all of that is inclusive of hiring. You're looking for the right talent, and you're going to go through all the channels to make sure that this is the person you want to hire. Now, onboarding is a little bit different. Onboarding is after you have already decided that this is someone that you have extended a job offer to. So onboarding starts after you already extended that job offer. Some people may call it a pre-onboarding session or a pre-hire session, where you're doing your background screenings, your documents that you need to sign, like releases, different releases that you need to do for background screenings or to work in different industries. Actual onboarding is like your first day. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you some standard information. We're going to make sure we have all of your information we need. You're going to select benefits, get acclimated with your work environment, your work culture. You're going to get acclimated with your email or your badge, or you need to know your layout in the office, or you need to know all of your logins to different systems, or you need to do company-wide training, learn about the department-specific training. Onboarding is after you've already been hired. It's two different things, y'all. Two different things. Now, they're definitely early on in anyone's career with that organization, early on in the process, because your hiring is all of that recruiting, and then your onboarding is when they're starting up until you feel this person can sufficiently do the job alone or can groove right on into training. Some people put training into onboarding, but for the most part, you can really include it, particularly company-wide training. Now, job-specific training would be different, but if there's like mandated company-wide training, then you just do that during the onboarding process. Now, you might say, you know, Tamika, that's the part that gets me. Some of my hiring managers need questions for these interviews. Sometimes I need questions for interviews, and sometimes we get a little confused on what the answers should be. We look at the answers a little bit differently. So if you want some help with what questions to ask, or if you're interviewing for a job and you know that these questions are going to be asked, then you definitely want to know what the answers should be and how you should answer those questions and what you should be looking for. If you want that, guys, go ahead in the description box. I have a link there where you can get an automatic PDF full of answers and questions. It's about 2 pages long, jam-packed with questions, why these questions are asked, and the answers you should be looking for. So both applicants and HR can definitely look for that, or people who are doing interviews, hiring managers, whatever. Those questions can help everyone, and the answers too. So now let's talk about the process, because there's a different process for onboarding versus hiring. Each process is slightly different, obviously, because they both are doing different things. They're targeting different efforts. Then they're going to be two different processes, right? Your onboarding process has a definition all by itself. So we already know what onboarding means. Now, what's the definition of an onboarding process? So the onboarding process is a standardized introduction of a newly hired employee to their role on the company or with the company. This process can include workstation setups, being familiar with teammates, being familiar with the team processes, whatever processes they do to get the job done, equipments, badges, access. So this process is used to set up any employee to make sure that they have success. People can kind of cater that process into whatever they want. Some people decide, okay, HR is going to do the whole onboarding process. Okay, HR will do part, and then each department that makes up the entire organization will be a part of that onboarding process. Some people decide, you know what, we're going to have the hiring manager do the entire thing. Particularly HR will still handle that HR part, and then your hiring manager can do the rest. So there are different ways that you can do this process. Completely depends on your organization, depends on what you want your employees to know. I will tell you that the more thorough this process is, the more planned it is, the more you prepare for it, the better you're setting that employee up for success, because now they feel like you've truly prepared for them. So when they see that you prepare for them, they come into work. I'm telling you, I noticed from doing 10 years of human resources experience, like they come in a different attitude when they see that you come in with a real process and like you really prepared for them, versus here you go, fill out your HR paperwork, now dive into it. Just telling you, it's a different thing. It's a different beast. Now, hiring has its own definition for its process as well. And so the definition of it is the steps to attracting and selecting a new employee to fill an opening. So pretty much the same thing as the actual definition of hiring, right? It's just the steps, right? Just like a standardized introduction, there's steps that makes that a standardized introduction for onboarding. The hiring process would include being led by HR or assisted with a department leader, reviewing resumes, conducting interviews, selecting an employee, and getting them prepared to be onboarded. Really easy, right? That one wasn't too bad at all, guys. I don't know why people kind of get it confused. I think if you're not really in a company that really spells out the differences or really make an attention to what the differences are, and if you don't be getting prepared for these employees the right way, and you just dive them in, complete this paperwork and now dive into work, then it could become all one process, right? It could seem like it's all one process. In actuality, they're two different processes, two different things. So if you guys need any clarity, I didn't fill something in on there, I left something off, then definitely leave it in the comments below. If you're like, no, Tamika, you've been hitting on it, this is exactly what I thought it was, even though we use it differently, then just put a purple heart in the comments below. I love my purple hearts, and I love every time you guys leave them. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for tuning into HR, and I hope that you found this valuable. I ask that you please hit the subscribe button. For those of you who are returning, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Let YouTube know you liked what you saw. For all of you, I cannot wait to see you on the next video.